So after the Washington Memorial, we would usually split into groups and would go to various museums. Now, there's a lot to choose from. I'm going to take you to the first one I go to, then one that we haven't been able to get into because the line for it has been so long. And then we're going to look at the National Art Gallery and then the Natural History Museum, which are absolutely phenomenal, particularly the National Art Gallery. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the Smithsonian National Air Museum, and we're going to be looking for their Mars Initiative. Look for details that have to do with the Mars Initiative in this short little clip. Let's take a look.
It begins with a spark.
Hey, Jackie, wait for me.
The passion for air and space.
Why don't you take it? You look better on you anyway. Hey, Jackie, remember her?
That passion can grow. Lighting the way forward for a lifetime. And now, with the monumental transformation of the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum, this place that has ignited generations of imaginations will be completely reimagined, inside and out. Also, this museum can be even more of what it's always been. A place that gives life to a remarkable past and gives rise to the people who will make history tomorrow. Join us in the mission to transform the National Air and Space Museum. Together, we'll ignite tomorrow.
Pretty good. It's okay, ad copy. So the uh, National Museum of African American History was not there for the first couple years. It was being worked on and worked on. It's an amazing building just to see. And this is from CBS this morning when they opened the museum finally. The lines for it have prevented us from going inside. So this is just a little detail, a little walkthrough. We're not going to look at the whole thing, but a little walkthrough and what it would be like inside and out. And let's take a look together real quick. All right, let's do it.
What brought us to Washington?
Oh, the disgraced Charlie Rose.
And newest Smithsonian Museum.
It has been 100 years in the making. The Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture is about to open its doors to the public. I just love saying that. Yesterday, Nora and I joined Lonnie Bunch, the museum's founding director, for a tour of what makes this place so very special inside and out.
On the wall, it's mainly white marble. And I thought, could we do something that gave a little color to this?
In more ways than one.
Well, and then that's what I realized.
Wrapped in bronze and inspired by the three-tiered crowns used in West African art, the National Museum of African American History and Culture shines brightly near the center of the National Mall.
This is a cabin from Edisto Island, South Carolina.
But to get a sense of the African American experience, you have to go below the surface, 5 stories down.
At its peak, it would hold between 8 and 16 people would be in that cabin.
A cabin for slaves and shackles small enough to restrain a child, reminders of America's regretful past.
after World War II, the notion of sit-ins really caught on.
While a stool from a Greensboro, North Carolina lunch counter represents a resolve to move beyond segregation.
What I see is something very simple. Sitting in a chair is transformative.
This museum will challenge your emotions. Tears will be shed here. But there's joy to be found too.
Gotta say, this
Okay.
is cool.
Like Chuck Berry's cherry red Cadillac.
Did you sit in the
Now,
driver's?
you're supposed to treat artifacts with respect, but of course I sat in there. Are you kidding me?
About 40,000 artifacts have
I like
been
that.
collected. The fact
Quick on his feet. That's our little mini tour of the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum and the National Museum of African American History and Culture. For the final walkthrough, I'd like to take a look at the National Gallery of Art. You're going to be looking for one painting in particular.